Hey guys, welcome back to the series of all you need to know about modifiers. And today we're going to look at Boolean modifier. Basically, this is actually going to be a short video because there is not a lot that you can do with it, but the usefulness of this modifier is really high, right? And I'll show you how. So let's quickly go ahead and open a new session. So we'll go File, New, General, and let's delete our camera and the light, right? So we're going to go ahead and look at the Boolean modifiers. For that, we'll go to the modifier properties. We'll click on add modifier and Boolean modifier, right? So as I said, there are not a lot of options that we can go through here. These are the only three main options that we probably need to be aware of, but there are a few things that we need to account for while using this modifier, right? So let me first show you its functionality, and then we can go ahead and what do you say, go through that some do's and don'ts about this modifier, right? So the very first thing, so what is a Boolean modifier? So if any one of you has a coding background, you can know a Boolean basically means true or false, right? But in Blender, Boolean can be used to either add, subtract, or intersect uh, something from like one object from another, right? So that's the basic function of Boolean. And let me demonstrate so that you guys can understand it better. So I'm going to go ahead and add another cube in here, right? And just move it up, scale it down. Let's say I want it this big, right? Now let's go to the top view and just move it a little bit here. Okay, and GZ. Okay, so now this cube is intersecting with the original cube. Where so what I want to do is I want to cut the area that is actually intersecting with this cube here. I want to cut this area from this main cube, right? So in order to do that, the very first thing I'll do is apply scale. And in order to do that, I'll just go back to my original cube, go to my Boolean modifier, and just select the second object. Now, as soon as I do that, it has already cut that piece from it, right? So if I just hide this, you can see that it's already uh, removed the difference between the two cube and just like uh, created a gap in between, right? So let me go ahead and basically make some changes here so that you guys can see it better, right? So yeah, so this is basically what the Boolean modifier can be used for. Now it can either be used to create a difference, like it can either be used to cut that original cube, cut that new cube from the original cube. Can be used to union it together. So what does union do is it basically combines both of those, right? So if you go inside, you can see that now both of these cubes are combined together, and anything in between is deleted, like any additional faces or any additional geometry got deleted from it. So that's the thing that union does. Now intersect is a little unique. So if you click on intersect, it only keeps the part that is common between both the cubes. Like for example, we've got this cube and we've got the original cube. Let me actually go back to the original one. So we've got the original cube, right? And between both of these cubes, only this section, go to the wireframing mode, only this section that you see here is what is common between both of those, right? So when you go to intersection, only the section that is common between both of these cubes is kept and the rest is deleted. So that's basically the primary function of this. Now this can be used in many other way. Like for example, there are two different options in your Boolean, right? So here if you see the operand type, it gives you object or collection. Now object means it's only going to be limited to one object, but if you go ahead and select collections, so let me align it better. So I've got two different cubes now, right? So I want to take both of these cubes and put them in a new collection. Okay. Now these two cubes are in a different collection than the original cube. So I'll go ahead and change the drop down to collections and select the new collection. Now, if you come back and check, it's deleting both the cubes from the original one instead of just one, right? So that's the benefit of using collection. Now you can just add multiple options in, like multiple objects in here, and it's just going to go ahead and keep subtracting it. So let me go ahead and show you that. So I'm gonna add a few more. So let's add 4 of these, and let's put it here. Okay, let's add 4 of these. Now, as soon as I hide this, you can see that there are 4 different sections that are deducted from it, right? Now you can use it to create a lot of interesting shape, which generally won't be possible. So like, for example, if I want to go ahead and create a circular gap at the center, right? I can easily do that by using the Boolean tool. And let me actually move this into this collection. And now you can see that there is a hole created, right? Now there is one thing that you really need to be mindful of, is that when you're creating shapes like this, you might get carried away sometime and end up in a situation where you have multiple objects here. So the more objects you add, the slower your computer is going to get, because it has to do more calculations, right? So one workaround for to this is just simply go ahead and like, let me make it visible first. So we'll go to the edit mode, and over here, if we actually click Shift D in the edit mode, not in the object mode, and then you move the object around. Now what happens is that it's actually just creating an instance of the original object. So it's not duplicating, like it's not creating a different object, because as you can see, both of these are just combined together and they're named as cube2, right? Instead of having multiple objects in your scene. So this makes your scene more efficient and more easier to handle and easier to process. So if you're facing problems like when you go really high in your object count and your system starts lagging, this is an alternate option that you guys can use. But yeah, to make sure that all of these changes are applied, so unless and until, so basically if I move this away, the change goes away, right? The gap goes away. So if I want to make sure that it stays, I have to go back here and go ahead and apply the modifier. Now if I delete it, it will just go ahead and simply keep those changes that I made, and yeah, just go ahead and create that interesting shape. This modifier is really useful when you're doing hard surface modeling, and yeah, can be really helpful in those cases, right? The thing that you want to make sure though is that you're not using it for anything like character animation or anything like that. And if you're using it, you have to make sure that you're cleaning your topology. Like for example, this object no longer just has chords, right? It has all different type of objects available in it. It's got circle, it's got multiple vertices, it's got different kind of geometry. So you just want to make sure that you're cleaning up your mesh a little bit more once you have used this modifier, if you are actually going to use it to animate in a organic matter. So just a side note there. But yeah, I guess that's about it for this modifier. If you guys learned something and you liked it, please don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I'm gonna make more videos like these in the future as well. So this is an entire series where I'm gonna cover most of these generate modifiers. So if you are interested in that, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out so far.
I've been up for 3 nights. My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I wanna see the sunshine. It's getting to my head.